All right, YouTube, this is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Back on this Monday afternoon. We got to talk about it. Now, it's been so much in the news over the last several days. You've been seeing Jasmine Crockett is having her minutes of fame. If you're in the political side, you've seen a lot of arrests in gangs within the country. Of course, you've seen the deportation of illegal immigrants, and you've seen Trump make his statement trolling the Democratic Party, saying he's going to run for a third presidency, trolling them so that they can get more attention. Elon Musk is trolling them to get more attention. They are keeping the Democratic Party to be a one trick pony. All they can do is talk about Trump and Elon. They can't talk about no legislation or no policy. But they are stoking and fomenting chaos. You've seen the torching and burning of Tesla trucks, the bombing of uh, showrooms, and the king of cars, and the destruction of Tesla. You've seen them call for Elon Musk to be taken down. And the left is really taking pride in being able to hurt this man's business. And then they're talking about they're the opposition and the resistance. Now that's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. It's a lot being said. And you're dealing with people who are being emotionally manipulated. You're going to have emotional manipulation on the left because of the rhetoric coming out of the Democratic Party. But you're also going to have a reaction to that, which is going to make people emotional on the conservative side. And then that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem if things started going the other way. If you started seeing more conservatives talking with the hostile rhetoric, things can get very volatile in the country. But there's a story that's not really being played. How many of you guys knew that a Republican GOP campaign office was allegedly set afire, burnt down? They wrote KKK in is ice on the walls. Did you know that? Did you know that they're saying that a Republican GOP office was targeted? What do you think? Just hearing that. So you're attacking Elon Musk. Now there's an attack on a Republican campaign office, the GOP headquarters. What do you think about that? Would you say things are escalating? Because at this point, you would know that you have agent provocateurs, paid activists, paid protesters, dissidents, anarchists, Islamists, Zionists. You got every kind of is out here wanting to protest and wreak havoc, to create collapse. You know, out of all that disorder, they truly believe that chaos will come out of that order. They truly believe that at one day they will have a new world order. They're setting the stage, the attack on Christendom, the promotion of socialism and communism, the fear mongering, the demonization. So all the right ingredients is there, especially now that they're alleging that someone has firebombed a Republican campaign office. Somebody has a vested effort in the collapse of this country, to the destruction of our communities, our morals, our culture, and you can't see it. Think about why all these things are going on. Do you think they're all coincidence, or are things orchestrated? I want you to ponder that. But in the meantime, I want to show you this clip. It's for fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act for education and commentary. Check out this.
KKK was spray painted. So early Sunday, the Republican Party of New Mexico headquarters was the subject of what the party chair is calling a deliberate act of arson. The building's front entrance was completely destroyed, and graffiti reading "ICE equal KKK" was spray painted on the side. Joining us now is the chairwoman of the Republican Party of New Mexico, Amy Barella. Thank you so much for joining the program.
Thank you for having me.
So, Amy, I want to play this soundbite first from one of the members of Congress and get your reaction. Let's play it.
How are we going to respond? Because people keep asking about me, what do we do? What are you doing? What more can you do? And we have a three-pronged project. Legislate, litigate, agitate. And you guys are part of the agitate part. So don't feel like we are hopeless or helpless. When we express our outrage, and it is universal, they are forced to put it back.
The Congresswoman later said this in an ex post after the attack. Political violence is unacceptable, including the arson attack on New Mexico's GOP headquarters. The perpetrators must be held accountable. Every American should be able to freely and safely participate in our democracy. At my town hall yesterday, I spoke about love and action, about the importance of showing respect and listening. This is what we need right now. Now, obviously, that was a softer term in tone before, after the fact of this bombing. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I believe that she changed her statement as soon as I came out to the media and was calling her out on those statements. I mean, you're holding a town hall to discuss about the love of the community, and you use the words agitate, I think is contradictory.
Yeah, so don't you think that the temperature just needs to be lowered? It looks like it's coming from one side right now. I think spirited debate is great, but it's clear that they're targeting Tesla, Republicans' headquarters. When is it going to end?
It ends with the left calling out, and just instead of calling out for violence and the destruction of the United States and across New Mexico, how about we come to the table and work together and fix the crime problems in New Mexico instead?
Yeah, so Madam Chairwoman, can you give us some details of exactly what happened that day?
So while it's still under investigation, we do know that there was some sort of device to start a fire placed in front of the doorway about or around 1 a.m. and that the ignition was about 5 a.m.
Yeah, was anyone anticipated or supposed to be in the building at the time of this attack?
No, thankfully not. And that's been one of my worries, for the last few months is with all this going on across the United States, I'm really worried about our safety of our staff.
Do you think it's okay for you to reopen your facility, or are you guys taking extra security precautions going forward?
We will probably be in remodeling for 2 to 3 months. So we are going to temporarily relocate in a different community that hopefully has a lower crime rate that we can feel safer in. And we will address the security system as we move it back into our old headquarters.
Have you talked to the FBI or anybody about this, since this was clearly a political attack?
This has been deemed a hate crime, and I know that they're going to be back today to do more investigations and collect more cameras from the neighboring businesses. So yes, we are in close contact with ATF and the FBI. Gotcha. And the Attorney General did reach out to me yesterday as well.
Wow. We're praying for you folks right there. Hopefully we can get the temperature down just a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
I want to show you one more story about this.
We begin tonight with our top story. The FBI now leading the investigation into a fire in front of the Republican Party of New Mexico's Albuquerque office. Alyssa Munoz is live with what we know about that fire that RPM calls arson.
Well, that fire happened right here outside the front door. Like you said, you could see it's all boarded up now. Now, we're told that no one was hurt, but the Republicans believe that this is politically motivated. Albuquerque Fire Rescue responded to the fire at the Republican Party office Sunday morning. RPNM's executive director believes it was set intentionally.
There was no way for a fire to have started on its own where the fire started. It was literally at the front door.
The flames reaching the ceiling and leaving some damage inside. The side of the office was also tagged, comparing Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement to the KKK.
Last night, there was a town hall meeting with Teresa Ledger, who specifically made a comment to continue to agitate the other side. And 5 hours later, this happens to our headquarters.
Varela is referring to one of the remarks made by Congresswoman Teresa Ledger Fernandez Saturday.
And we have a three-pronged project. Legislate, litigate, agitate. And you guys are part of the agitate part.
The town hall was hosted as a pushback on the Trump administration's latest decisions and to explain what Fernandez is doing to stop them. Fernandez sent a statement saying, in part, political violence of any sort is unacceptable, including this attack. At my town hall, I spoke about love in action, about the importance of showing respect and listening. It is a ludicrous leap to twist encouraging Democratic participation. Senator Nicole Tobias hopes there is no more violence when it comes to political differences.
Where people are today, that they think violence is an answer. It's not a solution. We've always lived in society with different belief systems.
Now, the FBI is investigating this incident, and they have not said whether this is arson. Reporting in Albuquerque, I'm Melissa Munoz, KOAT Action 7 News.
DPNM telling KOAT in part the Democratic Party of New Mexico condemns any vandalism at the Republican Party of New Mexico headquarters as strongly as possible. We firmly maintain that this sort of act has absolutely no place in our democracy.
Now, I want to say, after you guys see this, how things are consistently escalating because of the rhetoric. But even when you seen the Democratic lady down there say her three-pronged thing, her last one was to agitate. How are you agitating, and who are you agitating? You know, what is the left really rebelling against? They have no power in the Congress or in the Senate, and they're losing touch with their constituents because they're not addressing none of the violence and the problems in the communities that they claim to represent because they're too busy trying to create chaos. For what reason? It's almost as somebody has a vested interest in stopping the audits and stopping any progress that this administration is having, to the point to where they're virtue signaling and attacking verbally, the opposition with rhetoric that is insightful. But they're not going to be out there with you, and they're going to denounce any violence that happens, even though they may have fomented it. So you have to be wise during these times, because this is one of the most dangerous periods in American history, when you have the left fully infiltrated by people who have anti-American sentiment, anti-nuclear family sentiments, anti-God, anti-community sentiments. So you have to be careful, and you can't take them literally, and you have to see them clearly in this time, in this hour. Well, that's all I have for you out of Detroit. You think about what's going on, and watch the news, because it's a lot of distractions going on. As always, signing out. Salute to all patriots. Keep your head on the swivel. Like, share, and subscribe. Support the channel. Peace.